Hello and welcome to Natural Health Network. I'm Sarah, this is Renata, Nourish with Renata, and today we will be covering women's hormone health and how your issues with everything from mood to your period issues, like your mood issues and your mental fog and all of those things can be fixed and addressed through nutrition naturally. So the Natural Health Network is a vetted directory of holistic providers, products, and services nationwide in the US. And what we do is we are your go-to source for all things holistic health, providing from all ages. So from birth to later stages of life, we are the go-to resource for you to find trusted professionals that can give you great advice like Renata. So thank you so much for having me today. It's so good to see you again.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited to chat and let everyone learn a bit more about why this is such a passionate topic for me.
Yes, quite a story. Wait till you hear her story and the resources that she has. So tell us a little bit about you, like how did you get into this and what made you dive deeper?
Yes, so this is really the origin story because it mattered to my firstborn daughter, Olivia. So when I was a young mother, I really didn't know all that much about nutrition. I'd obviously heard some of the very similar things we've all heard, such as, you want to eat a certain amount of fruits and vegetables and you want to lower how much fried foods you eat. But it wasn't until I had my daughter that I really started to see the impact that nutrition can have on our bodies. And the reason being because Olivia started to have some really intense gastro issues. So she started to have a lot of problems passing stool even as an infant, and to the worst point, she also had some blood with her stool as well. And this was when she was just a couple to 3 months old. So as you can imagine, that was very terrifying for me as a young parent. And we had gone to our pediatrician and he advised us that one of the reasons why Olivia could be having such terrible issues with her stomach is because she was allergic to something I was consuming. And since I was breastfeeding her, she was receiving it through the breast milk. That was news to me. I had no idea that was even possible. And so I started down this journey of eliminating the most common allergens from my diet, namely dairy, which I was, of course, at first shocked by because I love cheese. And I thought, do I have to go without cheese forever? But as a young mom, I really wanted to do the very best for my daughter. So I eliminated all dairy and it was miraculous. Being able to see the change in her from one night to the next. She no longer had excessive crying spells. She was able to go to sleep by herself. She slept all through the night, which meant that I slept all through the night, which is amazing when you're sleep deprived. Yes. So I thought, wow, this has had such a huge impact, but not only on Olivia, it was also having a huge impact on me. So what I realized was when I was consuming so much dairy, I didn't realize I was going through my days with a certain amount of discomfort and inflammation. And it wasn't until I removed dairy from my diet that I recognized, whoa, I actually feel better too. I have more energy, I have better bowel movements, better gut health. It was like a new level of my health was unlocked. Wow. And that's what sparked my interest when it came to nutrition. What else could I be consuming that might be hurting my health, but also what could really help my health? So I dove deep into nutrition. I got my certification in nutrition from a couple of different places in order to better understand how food affects our bodies and our health. And that was where so many light switches started turning on for me. I was able to help my husband lower his cholesterol, improve his gut health. In fact, he was on a cholesterol medication at the time that turned out to be the exact same cholesterol medication that my dad was on, who was like 30 years older than my husband. So with the changes in nutrition that we started implementing, he could come off of that cholesterol medication, which was great because he was very young and really should not have been on it. And we were able to do things like give him a better quality of life too, because his GI issues were also debilitating at times. So I was seeing the impact in my direct family around nutrition. And it really made me think, what else could we be doing to help ourselves with our health? So I started developing recipes, integrating all of the things I was learning into our daily meals. And I started to create a blog, and people kept asking me questions like, well, why this, why that? Tell me more about these recipes. And so I, through my certification, was able to start coaching people on their nutrition as well, and specifically women, because I believe that women's health is something that needs to have further research and further education. There's so much we're not told. And oftentimes women will come to me and be like, I want to lose weight. And that's very common. I mean, I think many of us at multiple times in our lives have thought, I just really want to lose weight. But there were some clients that were not seeing the results, even though they were doing all the things that we had spoken about, that I knew was helping other clients. So that got me diving deeper into hormonal health. And it's this hormonal health piece where I really feel like it made sense to what I was going through. It made sense to why my energy levels were super high during some weeks or super low, or I felt like I could stick to a particular way of eating in some weeks but not in others. And once I started to learn about my hormones, it became clear to me that hormone imbalance is really the underlying cause for some ongoing issues that women experience, whether it be stubborn weight gain or inability to lose weight, whether it be PMS issues or you're having a lot of struggles with symptoms in perimenopause and menopause. Our hormones are the underlying factor here. And when we use nutrition powerfully, it helps to balance our hormones out so we don't have to keep suffering again.
Wow. And then, you know, I know for my journey, this world has been opened up to me, thankfully, through you. But unfortunately, you know, I think most of the education that we get as young women and girls is you're either on your cycle or you're off, and that's it. You don't know anything beyond that. You don't know that nutrition can affect it. You know, you just are taught to eat a healthy diet. Well, but if you're eating the same things, a lot of people get in ruts and eat the same things all the time, and maybe not ideal for your body. And so this is a journey that affects all areas of life all the way through life. So that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So you got your certification, and then also you haven't mentioned fertility as well.
Yes. So really one of the things that obviously comes along with understanding your sex hormones is fertility. And, you know, through my own journey, I did not understand how to get pregnant naturally. I just thought, and I think we've been taught this as well, do everything you can to not get pregnant until the time when you want to get pregnant, and then for some reason it's challenging. So we really wanted to help women understand what are the key factors that drive fertility, and nutrition is powerful for this as well. The foods that we eat help to improve our egg quality, in addition to balancing our hormones out and aiding with your menstrual cycle. And this is really interesting because so often women are told, well, if you haven't gotten pregnant in about a year, that means you have to do something very invasive like IVF. Now, IVF can be very helpful, of course, but if you don't have to go that route, there is another option available to you. And that's why I love helping women with their fertility, because there's so much you can do, and it's so much easier on your body, but also easier on your mental and emotional health as well.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear that there are alternative ways, and you can just learn to work with your body and put the right things in your diet, and it makes such a huge difference. You were brought to nutrition through, isn't that always the story, is that our kids just make us this totally different, better person and more educated because we dig deep. We don't always dig deep for ourselves, but we'll dig all the way, you know, to the center of the earth for our children.
Yes.
And so what services now do you offer?
Yeah.
How long into this are you?
Yeah, so this is my 5th year of business, and I'm so proud to be able to serve clients in a variety of different ways. So one is through one-on-one coaching, and this is my most in-depth and personalized coaching. This can be on either hormone balance and nutrition or specifically on fertility as well. I also have group coaching programs, which is available for women, specifically the Love Your Cycle program, which is all about understanding your cycle health, your sex hormones, and what you can do with nutrition to powerfully adapt your hormones for balance. Those are really the two ways that I can help the community for women. And honestly, in addition to that, we have some workshops that pop up here and there. Many of them are virtual, and so definitely keep an eye out for those.
Yes, and then your cookbook.
Yes, so I have a #1 best-selling cookbook on Amazon. It's called Nourish Your Body, a 30-day healthy and delicious meal plan. All of the recipes are designed for hormone balance to help you to feel full. I've gotten so many comments, including from yourself, how great the recipes taste, which I love, but also that you never have to feel hungry. And I think that's one of the common issues with diets, that you think you're supposed to feel starving all the time. And I do not want any of my clients or anyone using the book to feel hungry. The way that each recipe has been built is so that you always are nourished and you never feel like you're missing out.
Yes, and then you make it so easy. She even has grocery lists, and she lists out each of the recipes and what groceries you need. So if you're not going to cook all of the recipes, you can just, cut and paste. It's wonderful. So thank you for making it so easy and sharing such great information.
Oh, you're so welcome.
It's available on Amazon, as she said. So, and I've even had some of our NHN providers, our holistic doctors, call and say, can we have these in our office? And so it's their opinion is that it's a great resource as well. So who is kind of your ideal client? I know you have several different angles that you can help with.
Definitely, yeah. So for me, my ideal client is a woman that has been working on her nutrition and health, perhaps for a couple of years, but is not finding the results are happening. Perhaps you're stagnated with your weight loss, or you find that your energy has dropped, perhaps even having a lot of gut health issues that you're unable to heal. And in those cases, definitely come and see me. I have a free 20-minute consultation available as well. This is a great opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into what you're experiencing, and then to determine what's the best way that I can serve you. For many women too, you might be struggling with infertility or not understanding how you can improve your fertility chances. And in those cases, I definitely would love to chat with you as well. So whether you're on the journey through balancing your hormones and really getting to a better quality of your health, or specifically wanting to improve your fertility, I'm here for you.
What kind of symptoms do you see coming in most common? Because sometimes people don't know that some symptoms are coming from that gut health issue.
Yeah, that's a great question. So some of the very common symptoms that people will have will be not having regular bowel movements. So many people think it's okay to have a bowel movement every couple or 3 days. What we're really aiming for is having a bowel movement every day, at least one, sometimes up to 3. And so when women hear that, they're like, oh gosh, yes, I did not know that that is more of a normal frequency of bowel movement. And if your gut health is not primed or optimal, then that also means your hormone health is imbalanced as well. So if you're not having good bowel movements, that means your hormone health is off. You might also be having really significant PMS symptoms. So things like headaches, cramps, heavy bleeding. You might have breast tenderness, migraines as well. These can all be signs that your hormones are off. And there are lots of things that we can do to help you there too.
Yeah, that's a wide range that I wouldn't have connected before. And so, can you share a couple of success stories of women that you've helped?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite case studies. I was working with a woman who initially came to me saying that she wanted to improve her fertility chances. She already had 1 kid, he's about 5 years old. They've been trying for a couple of years but been unsuccessful. And I think what's possibly counterintuitive is whenever a woman comes to me and says, I want to get pregnant, the first thing we do is we look at her cycle, we look at her menstruation. And we found that for this particular woman, her menstruation was very irregular. She wasn't having regular, consistent periods. So what we actually did was we helped her to go back to having regular periods that were also symptom-free. So no more cramping, no more headaches, no more needing to lie in bed, no more feeling like you have to hide from the world because your PMS is so bad or your flow is so heavy that you can't leave the restroom. So once we started to work on that, she found, and I love this because this is the best feedback you can get. She came to me and she said, oh, actually my period, I didn't even realize it was coming. It's been so easy, so effortless, no pain, no heavy flow. And that is a great sign that your hormones are balanced, which also makes it easier for you to become pregnant. And I ended up receiving a message from her a couple of weeks later with, of course, the great news that she was pregnant. So she was able to conceive naturally.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And then what I also didn't realize until we have spoken is that blood sugar is can be so impacted by your hormones. They're, surprised they're all connected. Your whole body is connected in systems, but the way that you teach us to pay attention to our diet and eat also helps to balance blood sugar.
Absolutely. And this is another great case study. So I had a woman who was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, which is also something that is affected by blood sugar level changes, very much affected by those. So what we did was we actually worked through the cookbook, and all of those recipes help with balancing your blood sugar levels. So what's fantastic about that is after going through simply the 30 days of blood sugar balance in the cookbook, she went back and got all of the tests redone at her doctor's office, and we had reversed her PCOS. So she was no longer symptomatic. She had lost about 10 pounds, I believe. She had way more energy than she did before, and she just felt so much more connected and happier with her body and how she related to food as well. So there's so many benefits from learning how to balance your blood sugar level with real food.
Yeah, and like I said, you made it so easy. The meals, even my kids ask for some of the meals. Yay. Specifically, So it makes it so easy, and they don't take very long to cook. Some of them are super quick, just throw together.
Yeah.
So great resource to have.
Oh, I'm glad your kids love it too.
Yeah. You have kids, so you know what they'll eat.
Yes.
So I'm sure that was part of
100%. Yes.
Yeah. And then I think I asked you a few times because I struggle with lunch. So I asked you a few times. I know you have some great smoothie recipes. Can I just make a smoothie on the go?
Yes.
And then that has been a game changer for me too, because otherwise you just end up getting what the nearest thing is, and
right. Or then you're hangry and then you eat everything that you can find later on in the day. So I love that. Smoothies are my go-to as well. And we're talking about protein-packed smoothies filled up with fiber. They're basically like meals, but they're something super easy you can have on the go.
Great resource. So to reiterate your program, so you have a consultation, so you can go to naturalhealthnetwork.org. There's the directory, and find Nourish with Renata on the directory. You can contact her there, follow her on social. She shares great information on Instagram and social media channels. So they would book their consultation with you, and then kind of what does the process look like after that?
Yeah, so after our consultation, or at the end of our consultation, I'll be able to provide you with what my recommendation would be for moving forward. That might be a group program or a one-on-one, or it could also be something else more akin to what your life will allow at that time. I'm very flexible. I really want to support you with something that will work, that will have long-term sustainable change, and not something that you feel like you have to change your whole life in order to become. So this is the great thing about working with someone one-on-one, is that we can really listen to what your needs are and devise a strategy that works best for you.
Yeah, and can you say they have a doctor that they've been working with and they're on a protocol that is not working? Can you kind of evaluate? Do you have testing and things like that you can do to kind of dive deeper?
Absolutely, yes. So one of the things I love to do is look at all of your lab work in order to see anything that perhaps your doctor may not have seen, or to revise it against more of a functional nutrition range. In addition to that, we can do some additional testing based upon what I believe your body needs, or how we can find the evidence to confirm one of these suspicions based upon looking at your symptoms and analyzing what you're currently going through. So we do have access to all of that to help you to get a better picture of your health.
Yes, because you partner with a practitioner that offers those additional testing.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you are looking for more answers, and even if you just want to learn how more than just I'm on my cycle or I'm off my cycle, and how does that affect my body and my mood, and all of the different factors as women that we deal with. If you want more energy to just be able to run around with your kids, blood sugar issues, you can come to Nourish with Renata. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This was so enlightening.
Yay!
So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to either Renata directly or the Natural Health Network. We do get messages all the time of who do I work with? This is my issue. Who do I work with? And so we have a whole directory and business network of holistic providers that we can connect you with to help you find answers for your health and wellness journey. Thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to head over to naturalhealthnetwork.org to find all of the resources. Have the best day.